guys, it's Karen. I am making this video today because a few of you had requested information about my light bulb ornaments. First off, I want to say I did not invent this because I'm not that clever. I'm sure I saw them somewhere and Ornament stole it or Ornament lifted it. Anyway, so here's a little tour of the ones that I have made. This is my Rudolph. He's just painted brown with some eyes, a little hat that we made, pipe cleaners, and little bells on his ears. So that's Rudolph. And this is one of my snowmen. He has on him the Martha Stewart mica flakes. They're these ones right here have like that pearly kind of finish to them, and then there's also the plain, which doesn't have that pearly color, but it is shiny. It's just not colored. I like the one with the pearly colored finish better. And then this is also this one right here is made just with the Martha Stewart fine glitter, and it is sparkly. It's just not as sparkly as this one. And then there's this guy that is also just the plain fine Martha Stewart glitter, but I made the hat out of polymer clay, and I'm not sure I would use that. It's kind of top heavy, and I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just not worth the effort, I guess, to get my clay out. My laziness. These are the ghosts that I made, one of the ghosts that I made for my Halloween tree. And then I just recently, after Halloween, made my little jack-o'-pump. And he's basically just the orange painted with the black, little brown on the top and some raffia. And then you can just kind of do whatever kind of face you want. This guy's round. And my Santas, and I had a dilemma whether there should be one Santa on a tree or many Santas. I think the voting was going towards more than one Santa and then one Rudolph, but I believe that it was okay to use other reindeer. I just have to change the nose, from what I'm told. So these have on this texture stuff, which I don't know where it is this second, but I will find a tube before I'm done with the video. But anyway, so that's what's on here, and then I used the snow text, this stuff right here, to do around the brim of the hat. Now, I didn't really like it because it blends too much with the hair, and I can do a little bit of highlighting on the beard and the hair to separate the two, but I also just did this guy today, and I don't know if you can see, but he's got those little glass beads on there. I just put some white watered down glue, and Martha Stewart makes them. And they're just these little tiny glass beads. They're called micro beads. This is called white gold, but it looks like silver. So, and then this is just same stuff, just made by a different person. Anyway, so that's my Santas that I'm still working on them. And the favorite of the bunch is my newest one, and this is my penguin. And this poor guy's been taken apart and put back together so many times, but I finally decided to make patterns for him. So I have, let's see, this is his little beak before he's put on, his little tail, which he doesn't even have a tail right now, his feet, which are just cut out of the fun foam stuff. This is a wing, which I paint one side black and leave one side white, which is here. And for his eyes, actually for all their eyes except the reindeer, those are just painted on, I use these little pearls, from Queen Company, and they're just, we all have them laying around somewhere. They're just the different size pearls, which on the snowmen I used for the mouth, the eyes, and the nose actually is a wooden dowel that I just sharpened in the pencil sharpener and painted orange and hot glued him on. Hot glue is probably your best glue to use for like almost everything on here. It's a lot easier. And then for his belly, first I just painted it, and then I was going to glitter it, and I said, oh, so many glittery stuff, so I decided to use the Fun Flock, which I kind of like. It's, it feels soft. You really can't see it until you get close up to it, but then when you get close up to it, it's cute. I also had eyebrows on him, and I painted over them and then painted them back on, so I'm still wondering if I need eyebrows, because sometimes an eyebrow can make a penguin go from happy to crazy to really mad. So, yeah, so I haven't decided yet. And the last thing I did, this is left over from the Halloween tree, but I can also put it on the Christmas, and that's the glitter balls, which there's a bunch of videos on it, and I'll probably do a video just because everybody's asked me to do it, and I haven't. And basically it's just the glass balls that you get from Michael's, and this glue from Beacon, and it's called Glitter It, and it's very watery, and you kind of pour it in, drain it out, and pour the glitter in and shake it. And what's great about it is there's no glitter all over the house, because it's on the inside rather than the outside. So if we have time, I'll do that. I did do these for the Valentine's Day tree, and if nobody knows what that is, I'm making a tree for my great aunt. She's 92, and she just loves everything I make, I think because she can't really see it, but so I'm giving her this tree for the year with every holiday different decorations that she can change on and off. So I made these two different pinks. This one's red, and I don't remember which glitter I used, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's really streaky. It didn't come out too well, but I'm banking on the fact that she's 92 and she can't really see anyway. So, but I love her dearly, my Aunt Nellie. So anyway, let's get started. Okay. Basically, for every one of these, I start off with a light bulb, burns out. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. And basically, everyone has started switching over to the new kind of bulbs, so sometimes they're not letting them die, and they're switching right away. But if you put the word out, pretty much everybody comes to the rescue. So, for the penguin, what I do is take a pencil, which is probably the one thing I don't have here, and I just kind of draw around it. So right up here, I don't know if you can see it, but I made kind of like a heart without the bottom. This pencil doesn't work. There you go. So I picked the sides. These are bulbs that I in the beginning I was spray painting everything white, and that is the best way to go, is to do a bunch of coats. But I got impatient one day and slapped some white paint on it, so it's a mess. So I picked the worst side to do the belly, because I'm going to flock it anyway, so you won't be able to see it. So anyway, just kind of draw where you want to go, and it's basically a heart with just a big belly around it. And then you can do one of two things. You can take a marker and kind of outline it, so that you don't have to worry about getting the paintbrush into that little nook and cranny. And just go around. And so when you get to the end, this is all going to be white, and then you just go to paint. So I use the Folk Art enamels. In the enamel paint, you can use it on glass, so if you want to paint some glasses for, Christmas gift for somebody, if you do, you don't want to put it up where their mouth is around the rim, but you can just put it in the oven at 275 for like 15 minutes, and that seals it all in, and it won't come off in the dishwasher. But I usually hand wash it because it takes 2 seconds anyway. And anyway, it makes a cute gift. Someone that's turning 21, if you get like a cheap margarita glass, and just paint it with their name on it, or fun little pocketbooks, or the date, or if you have a, if you're having a big party. Sorry, this isn't even close enough to you. If you're having a party, it makes a good favor to give. A bridal shower, any of those fun things. Anyway, I water the paint down a little bit just to make it go on smoothly. And I am not neat by any means. And I like to do thin coats and then just do a couple coats rather than a really thick coat that takes forever to dry. I'm very impatient. I have used my heat gun to help dry them, but sometimes I do that a little too close and it bubbles and makes a mess. So anyway, once you get your first coat on, you don't have to worry about the tip because we're going to make him a little Santa hat, so he doesn't need it. And try and fix up your ends, and this is where you can see how crooked you are in drawing your little belly. So just kind of look at it and decide, to me it looks okay. So the other thing is, after you do it, you need some place to hang it so it'll dry, because you can't, now that I've got it all over me, you cannot lay it down, obviously, because you will get it everywhere. So while this guy is drying, over here, we can start working on his little hat. Ooh. Baby wipes are wonderful in this type of situation. Okay, so we are down to the hat. Now I use just regular felt, and kind of just cut a triangle that's rounded off, and then just kind of roll it up. And it really doesn't matter about the top because you're going to cut it square and put a little pom-pom on it anyway. And then you need a light bulb that you can kind of just feel it and see how big you need it. So take your glue gun, which is what I use. And the only problem, is if you're working with little kids. Either you want to do this yourself or just use white glue and let them slop it all on. I recommend saying, oh, let me do that for you. Okay, so once you have your glue on, just kind of roll it up here like a little taco. And the thing with the hot glue too is you can always rip it apart if it's not right. If it's, too big or not tight enough. And once you get it like this, then we need to just cut it with scissors. Would have been a good idea to get. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Well, while I was getting my scissors, I did find the Texture Magic, which is what I use for Santa's beard and hair. I got it at Michael's. For some reason, they had a big clearance on it. They still sell it. I don't know why they had a clearance, unless it was getting old, which could be it. But anyway, I paid $2.50 for the tube, and it goes a long way. So Okay, so once you make your little and size them up, just kind of trim it up. And then what I used, I had my son pick up some fur at Michael's, but it was like this really thick fur that it just seemed easier to grab a pipe cleaner and just go around the bottom. So that's how you make the hat. This, after your penguin has dried, this one is dry, that is when you do the fun flock. And I don't know why, I'm sorry, but my fun flock was already done. Basically, just take a paintbrush with glue with water in it, fill in the belly, take a paper plate, put it down, and just dump the whole thing on and kind of pat it down, make sure it's on good. Shake it off, let it dry, put everything back in. Now I've made a few of these, and this container is still completely full. I think it multiplies. I don't understand how it works, but it's going to last forever, I'm pretty sure. So once you have that fun flock done, and you have cut your all of your pieces out, all you have to do is glue them all on. The only thing that I do with that's kind of different is the beak. I put a tiny layer of glue right on the crease and hold it closed, and basically it's so the beak's not wide open all the time. So just kind of, I don't really even squeeze it. I kind of take the glue that's just hanging on the end and close it shut. And oops, put something heavy on that. And then I just take the feet and just kind of stand him up and, you know, see where he wants to go. And again, I just put a little dot right around the heel, the back end of the little flipper thing. And then just kind of stick them on wherever you want. And this is another thing that I ripped off and put back on, and it rips the paint off a little, and you just throw it back on again. I mean, there's really no wrong place to put them unless you put them like where the ear should be, and then that's a problem. And after that's done, you want to take your the wings and the tail. Now I painted these. Again, black magic marker is quick and easy too, and just to make it nicer, I do the black around the rim. You can try the white, but I end up getting black on it. It's much easier to make it black. And then I did have an error here with the white, and just grab some white paint and throw it on. And it takes 2 seconds to dry. And once you get it all covered, fill in little spots. And the same thing with the tail. Now, my son tells me penguins have tails. I really didn't investigate it, but I'm going to go on the fact that he knows more than I do and give the guy a tail. So, again, I also cut a little, I make it square on the very top right here where I glue it on. For no reason other than the fact that I just did. It's a little spot that's bothering me. Okay, so I just again put a little dot right on the top, and not a ton. You don't want it all bulgy and messy looking. And I kind of put it right where the curve of the light bulb starts. Just kind of stick it there. And again. And I like to put it on the piece rather than on the bulb, because then you can kind of fidget with it. And, you know, you can stick one arm up or down, however you want to do it. One of the other things I thought about doing, and I haven't done it, is I was going to punch out of the fun foam a little heart and with little red glitter. I thought that'd be cute, but I haven't done it yet. Okay, and this little tail. I don't know why my camera is so far back and keep going out of the frame. Okay, so we have legs and tails, and so we are ready for the eyes. Now this is another thing. I like to put hot glue on the eyes additional to the sticky, especially if you're going to do the fun flock, but I won't do it right now so we can move along. And the other thing you can do is make a little pencil mark, because that'll help you a little to stay so they're kind of even. And now we're ready for his little beak. This way. And I only put the glue right on the fold. Oof. And then just kind of stick it where you think. Which again, I think right where the bulge starts for the bulb. Just kind of stick it, and you can decide if the beak is too big or too small, and like I said, it's no big deal to take it off and put it on again. Paint covers a lot of stuff. Okay, so we have a penguin, and we need to put his little hat on. And if you can see, it's kind of a little bit big, but really not a big deal. I always put the seam to the side because I'm going to bend the hat to the side, so you can't really see if you put an extra tuck in it. But the other thing you have to do, and I almost forgot, before you put the hat on, is you want to do your wire, because you don't want to have to put it on the outside. This is something I figured out too late on a lot of them, and I had to redo them, but basically, I just take it, and any florist wire is perfectly fine. So just wrap it around and twist it, and then pull it towards the back, and then just kind of make a loop. Put one side down in two pieces here. There we go. Hide that. And then just make a loop. It doesn't matter what it looks like because it's only going to stick out a little bit. So loop it up and then wrap it around again. And like I said, all this is going to get hidden inside the hat. So once you wrap it around too, you can put a little bit of the hot glue just to stop it from spinning. Make sure it's where you want it first. And pull it tight. And twist it around. Okay, put a little bit of glue. And once you get that glue up, the other thing that you have to do is cut a little hole. And you just want to cut it. Make sure you don't go through both. Just a little slit. And then stick it on and make sure that your wire goes through. Do it this way. And then just kind of pull it down. And glue it. And basically then you're going to just take your little pipe cleaner and go around the bottom, and that is your penguin. So I hope you all enjoyed, learned, and let me know what you think. So everyone, have a nice Thanksgiving. This is done a couple days before Thanksgiving. And I will be back with another video. Thanks.